What's good? Welcome back to another edition of Dat Talk Podcast, where we give our opinion on sports by going over the facts with the stats. I got my co-host with me.
Hey, man, it's your boy, D-Red, a.k.a. Mr. Too Many Reasons himself. What's the deal, Brody?
Yes. And before we get into our Talk That Talk, people's choice or viewers' choice, whatever, we ain't even got no title with it because it's the first time we doing it because we got a special guest in the building that's going to be some enlightened tips and all that great stuff and his opinion. You're going to get to know him in a little bit. But before we get into that, we got to go over the topic of what we did last week. We're going to go over a few comments. We got Tsunami Smoke, man. He said, "Bake, great insight on the media vote." Okay.
I see you.
That I really take Bill Simmons and Michael Beasley's vote serious. When it comes to defense, what is the criteria? Seems like a lot of voters just piggyback off it's popular or who's popular.
Yeah, he's talking about Bill Simmons, one of the writers, and Michelle Beadle, who's also, works on ESPN.
Oh, Michelle Beadle. I don't know.
I got you. Michelle Beadle. And so, like I said, you did make a great point about, first team All-NBA and all those kind of selections, that it come down to a media vote and what are they really looking at and what's the criteria, because as far as I know, I've never seen like you need to do this, or that to receive those kind of votes. So, I mean, you made a valid point, bro. I'm not going to argue that point and that kind of stuff. Some of the things you say is crazy, but that one.
Yeah, I know what I'm talking about. Thank you, Smoke, because I know what I'm talking about. And then we're going to my man Collins. That F. Shaq made free throws against my Kings in 2002 series. I'm still salty about it. Damn, Blotty had to tip the MF to Robert Horry, and Horry just had to beat what he had to be at the three-point line. Kobe was a killer. He ripped our hearts out in multiple occasions. How many times did I see Doug Christie with a hand in Kobe's face and it didn't matter? My Kings haven't recovered since. Shaking my head. It was fun battles.
I had to get at that, man. Tried to come from my team talking about ifs. Ain't no ifs. If was a fifth, it is. People ain't even got to finish it.
Yeah.
There wasn't no rivalry between us and the Kings. We always won. How you going to have a rivalry? We always won.
You can still have a rivalry.
You can't have a rivalry if one side's always winning.
Not
I don't care what you say.
You may have it just some circumstances, some luck. The Kings should have beat y'all in some of those series. I don't care what you want.
I'm not about to do, man. I'm not about to do this. This is not the topic.
Today, we talked before we get into today's topic, because we got a juicy one for y'all. We're gonna be going over different areas. We got our man. He's a Fresno native, man. He is a host of A Minute to Six podcast. He be having a lot of special folks on there by the name of Bobby Jackson. Y'all know who Bobby Jackson is. We talk about Sacramento. Bobby Jackson was on the Sacramento team. Muggsy Bogues, the Lopez brothers on there. And the brother just have a lot of great insight when it comes to sports, comes to life, and a whole bunch of other things. He's a father, but we're going to let him introduce himself, man. But without further ado, we about to give some warm welcome Talk That Talk for the very first time. The very first time to my man, Mark Haynes. We're going to bring him in the building. Let's bring my man, Mark Haynes, in the building.
Oh, sucky now. Somebody else to help me out.
Where did my man go? Did he leave us?
I think he is. I think he's here.
There he is. My man Mark's in the building.
Oh, yeah, we already know how these things go at times.
Y'all know how social media is. Social media be, there he is. Hey, there he is. My man Mark's in the building, man. How you doing today, brother? Oh, you got to unmute. I think you got to unmute your mic, baby. You got to unmute your mic.
Y'all got me? Am I there?
Yeah,
yes, sir.
Sorry about that, man.
Oh, I be, man. How you doing, brother?
Oh, man, I'm doing all right, man. I'm hanging in here, fellas. Just taking it a day at a time, man. Hoping this NBA season come back.
I know, right?
Please.
So tell the folks a little bit about yourself. I know we did a little brief intro on you, but tell a little the folks about how you got into, you know, the analysts and doing podcasts and all that kind of good stuff?
Well, for those of you who don't know, I'm Mark Haynes. I'm the younger brother of let's see, what's his title? Senior insider Chris Haynes from Yahoo
Mr. Breaking News. Mr. Breaking News.
Yeah, that guy. I'm the younger brother. I got my start on his podcast, posted up with Chris Haynes a little over a year ago.
Nice.
And we had we called it, what did we call it? The posted up podcast. So it was like the post show or whatever. But, I've started, learning from him and, getting ideas on how the business go and, with podcasting and just, the NBA world, sports world, period.
Gotcha.
And, I built enough confidence up doing his show to, start my own. And now I'm hosting a Minute Till 6 podcast, which we, after about 6 months of doing that, we partner with Clutch Points to, produce and put it out there and stuff. And yeah, it's been a blessing, man. It's it's been a fun ride. Got to meet a lot of people, talk to pretty much everybody like that you could think of. So it's definitely been a blessing, man.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. So we definitely is happy to have you on the show today, man. Because we got a great discussion.
Oh yeah. I had to wake up this morning to take notes. I was like, man, make sure I say the right stuff because it's that good talk right here.
Yeah, man. I mean, our show is predicated on those heated topics and those things just to add different perspective,
Right.
to get a fan something a little different, man. So
Sure.
me and Bake always going at it. So hearing another voice, a voice of reasoning, as I would like to say, it's always good. Always good. But we keep it hot, Mark. You feel me? You gotta stand by it. You can't be, pancake flipping. We need you. You need it hot.
I did my research on y'all, man. I had to check y'all out before I come on. So I was like, man, that's why I woke up this morning. I started taking notes. Usually I just jump on a pod and I just do it. But this pod coming from my hometown, I gotta come for correct.
Appreciate it.
Facts. So, man, we talking about our Mount Rushmore. Who do you have on your Mount Rushmore? It can go from different eras. It could be in a specific era. It could just be specific players. You don't have to take anybody from a specific era if you don't want to. It's your Mount Rushmore, because everybody always talks about who's the greatest, who's this, who's that, and everybody Mount Rushmore is going to be different. I know for sure we're going to see some different people on each individual Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
So if we going by Mount Rushmore, who's the first person? Because we're gonna give my man Mark the first. Who's the first person you got on your Mount Rushmore, Mark?
And we're going all time right here, right?
All time Mount Rushmore.
Well, the first person is no other than LeBron James.
Hold up.
He's the first person that comes to mind when I think of Mount Rushmore. You want me to give it the rest of the guys right now, or we go stay there for a little bit?
This is the first. Why do you have LeBron James? Because I know why. But why did tell the people why? You got LeBron James, that's the number one person on that Mount Rushmore.
Here we go. I thought you was a voice of reasoning.
Hey man, yeah, we gonna get into it. So man, he comes first to mind to me because I think he's the best player we've ever seen touch a basketball.
Hold up.
I say that.
Oh wow. Oh.
Yes, sir. I think when we talk about the GOAT, I look at LeBron and Michael Jordan as 1A, 1B. I personally take them as 1A. But if you take them as 1A, I ain't gonna, it is what it is, because it's two different ways you look at them. Like when I make sure I specifically say I think he's the best to touch a basketball because I also think Michael Jordan's legacy is much better than LeBron James.
Okay.
So if we're going by legacy, I say Michael Jordan. But if you just ask me who I think the GOAT is, who I think the best player to step on the court is, I say LeBron James. Yes, sir.
Too many. Right. What's up with your face over there, Mike?
I'm liking what's going on over there. I'm liking it.
Like you're so disappointed right now.
That's because I hold my man Mark to a high standard. And not that his standard with LeBron is off, but I like the disrespect he want to do subcount. 1A, 1B?
What I'm with it. 1A, 1B.
No. All right, so
but I'm telling you, what in his book.
Yeah, whatever. So I'm gonna safely assume that you got LeBron as your Mount Rushmore guy 1, 2. Am I that a safe assumption?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Yeah, so let me bring some clarity to this conversation. Yeah, we're gonna go Michael Jordan. Okay, we're gonna go there first on the Mount Rushmore. We're gonna put his picture first.
Wow.
I can't sit there and say remember how the presidential ones go, but we're gonna start with Jordan. Okay.
He's the first person getting sculpted.
Yeah, that's the first sculpt. Like I don't even know why you even start with LeBron. What?
What are you talking about?
Jordan's face is the first sculpture. Okay, we're gonna spend the first 15 years with his face. All right. I feel like I shouldn't have to tap in to what the man did, whatever the case is, but just in the 90s alone, like just his just in the 90s alone. You feel me? 7 seasons, with as they say, averaged 30 points, 5 assists, 6 rebounds.
Unbelievable.
6-time champ, 6-time Finals MVP, 4-time MVP, 7-time All-Star, 2-time All-NBA, 2-time All-Star, All-NBA MVP, and 7-time scoring champ. And that was in his decade. And 6-0 in the final. 6-0. I know he won 6. I just want to make sure we put 6-0. Never made it to a game 7. Never. So, I mean, I feel like that sculpture has to go up first. No disrespect to Mr. Bron James, but we'll talk about when his sculpture come up on my list.
Wow. I feel like his sculpture going to come up last. I don't know. Just, my opinion, when it comes to you, I think it may come up last. You know.
That ain't got nothing to do with me.
I love what Mark talked about, though. He said the best to ever play the game of basketball, whoever touched the game of basketball. Now, Jordan's legacy is a different breed. What he was able to accomplish, you just named some of his accolades. You can't deny that. But we talking about the best to ever touch the basketball, man. And it's no other than LeBron James. He's the one you sculpted first. He's the first sculpture because he's done so much for the game of basketball. He's damn near in top 5 or top 10 in all of the more important categories, like assists, like points. Only thing you may want to get Mike, is steals. I give you steals. Mike got more steals than LeBron James. LeBron probably don't play as much defense, but that don't mean he can't play defense. No. That doesn't mean he can't play. You gotta take my word. You try to rub with it.
No, you said as much. I mean,
that doesn't mean he doesn't play. He can't play it, but you gotta understand his responsibility is more than what Mike's responsibility was for the Bulls. That's just what it is. Mike's responsibility was really to get buckets. He could play defense, but Scottie Pippen did the dirty work for the defense. Scottie Pippen, Ron Harper, Dennis Rodman, they did the dirty work for Mike. LeBron ain't really had nobody that's really doing that kind of dirty work. He got some people that's trying to be the dirty work doers, but LeBron has to score. LeBron has to facilitate. LeBron has to get rebounds. LeBron has to do so much for his team. He has to. He has to.
See, now I know why we originally was going to do this on Sunday, because you over here preaching right now. That's what you do. You preaching. I'm
trying to tell him. I'm just trying to tell him.
All right, come on. Listen, I'm not I feel like the word has to needs to turn into chooses to. See, we talk about, I had this conversation with my boy, with one of my boys, and we got real and deep about this. And now granted, he's a huge LeBron fan. So
Right.
his perspective is like, as a big LeBron fan. So hearing it from him, I have to be like, whoa, this is interesting. So when we had this conversation, has to means everybody around you sucks and it's just you. So when I look at LeBron's first 7 years, that's 7 years, right?
Yeah.
He had to do a lot. Yeah, he had to. Okay, you look at his teams, there wasn't a lot of guys, so I understand. But when we fast forward into this 2010 to 2020 era, he didn't have to do all that. He didn't. No. I don't want to hear from you, him, or whoever. He didn't have to do all that. He teamed up with D Wade and Chris Bosh, made a nice solid big three. You know, no fault to him. He had to go do what he had to do. But when you brought in Chris Bosh, this is a question for the both of you guys, was Chris Bosh not a 20 and 10 guy?
Yeah.
Okay, so that means he didn't have to go rebound, but he chose to go rebound because he needs to be ball dominant in the offense. When he moved back to the Cavs, Tristan Thompson, Kevin Love, also double-digit rebound guys. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that means he chose to go get all the rebounds and not want to do that. He had a guy like Kyrie. Kyrie is not a facilitator like that, but that's a point guard. But instead, he would rather be the person to ball dominate and do all that because his offensive structures has always been pick and roll basketball because that's where he feeds in and that's where he's best at. So the difference between have to and choosing to is totally different to me because I feel like Jordan didn't really want to play in field offense, but he saw that field was like, hey, look, bro, you do it this way, we gonna win. So Jordan, Kobe, or whatever the case is, when they were in offensive structures, they wasn't so ball dominant. They worked off the ball. LeBron can't work off the ball. The reason why the Lakers traded Lonzo. Why? Why you need 2 point guards? You ever watch the Lakers in now with Rajon Rondo? It don't work. Why? Because LeBron needs the ball. No, not, but I'm just saying. The man's offensive skill set is very limited.
Hold up.
Very limited.
DJ, you touched on some good points there, man.
Thank you.
Some really good points, but I think you had them a little bit strewed. Like I felt like it was supposed to go towards complimenting LeBron at the end because you are right. At the beginning of his career, he had to. Like I've followed LeBron his whole career, and to be honest, I can't name a bunch of guys. I don't remember who played in the first 7 years. Like I seen somebody posted something today, and it was like, I remember Ronald Flip Murray, and I was like, damn, I forgot all about it. He was on the team. I forgot. No disrespect to them, but I just forgot. But that's what type of guys he played with. But when it came to has to and want to, Michael Jordan, he wanted to shoot the ball, right? And when he did that, that's when they were losing. When he finally started trusting other guys and stuff, that's when the championships came. LeBron, we look at LeBron and we say he wants to be everything. That's what you say. He wants to be everything. And we see time and time again, we bring in, the Miami situation was strange. I thought Chris Bosh would grab more rebounds than he did. But everybody questioned his toughness, which I think is unfair. Yeah. But, what I'm saying, it is what it is. But let's fast forward, coming back to Cleveland with Kyrie and Kevin Love. In the beginning of that juncture, LeBron tried to let Kyrie be the point guard. So he scored 30 points with 0 assists. He tried to let Kevin Love, do his thing, rebounding. And when he did that, Tristan Thompson started stealing minutes from him. You know what I'm saying? So now Tristan is taking some of them boards, which Kevin Love, I think all years I don't think he fell under 9 rebounds. So he still was,
about 8 or 9. I think he was about 8.7 or something to that effect.
Yeah, something. I think the last year he finally got in the double digits or whatever. But what was happening when he let Kyrie lead, not lead, but play the way he want to play. When he let Kevin Love play the way he want to play, they lost.
No.
That's because he was, you know why? Because we touched on this. You want to know why? Because LeBron, and again, I'm not going to knock his personality because that's him. I feel like everybody is who they are.
Right.
LeBron is more of the friendly leader, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's the friendly. He's the dude that you really want to go be boys with. Like,
yeah,
that's the dude you want to. Yeah, you know, and to me, you need that. But I also feel like when we look at certain leadership qualities, as far as the great Michael Jordan, it was like, I can't be friends with you right now because I got a goal at hand. So I got to figure out a way to press these buttons to bring some kind of different animal out of you. I think LeBron has allowed his teammates, and even when we talking AD, and I love AD, I think LeBron doesn't always force the dog out of his teammates to where he can sit back and be a benefit of it, because it's like, I got a dog mentality. Mm-hmm. I need you to have that same one. I feel like he should do more of getting out the dog in these players more and more and more, instead of being so friendly. And I think, to me, that'll help. I don't disagree with his style, but I'm just saying, I think it can help.
I get what you're saying, but that worked in the 80s and the 90s, because the way people thought. We're living in a style where people are more emotional, more sensitive. I mean, just more in tune with their feelings. And so it doesn't work, because the reason why Kyrie left, because he felt like LeBron was sunning him. And that's that. If Mike would have did that, it would have been, but when LeBron did it, Kyrie didn't like it. He said, nah, I ain't going to be no son. I'm my own man. I'm going to my own team. And then what did Kyrie do? He said, I understand now. I understand why you're doing great. I understand why you're trying to help me so much to be a better player. See, it's not that LeBron choose to. It's the fact that LeBron has to. AD don't want to be a dog. AD is 7 foot. No. AD is 7 foot on the perimeter. He's 7 foot. He can get a bucket easy if he want to. He want to shoot threes. He want to shoot mid-range all the time instead of make it easy for himself. And LeBron, hey, man, I'm trying to get you to be a dog, but you got to want to be a dog. And if you don't want to be a dog, I can't make you be what you don't want to be. Back in the day, they feared Michael Jordan because of the mindset of the players. The mindset. Now you see when people talk about The Last Dance, Scottie Pippen don't even like his view of how he's been perceived on The Last Dance. That might go crazy because of The Last Dance. So back then, the fear, but when people got the ability to talk how they feel and talk they talk, you seeing the truth. You seeing the truth. It doesn't necessarily work for everybody. It worked for that time frame. You try to get that mic in this era? Oh, hell no. Kobe was probably the last one who was able to get the dog out of the players, because it was still in that era. But look at Westbrook. Look at Chris Paul. People say Chris Paul leadership is too much. It's too much for flamboyance. Too much of that anger. You don't have that. No, I'm telling you the truth. Real talk.
No, because he cried too much. So it's like you can't be out here crying trying to be a dog at the same time. You can't
Chris Paul is a dog.
He wasn't. He just cried a lot.
James Harden, their relationship didn't work is because Chris Paul was like, look, bro, that's not working. We're not going to win no games just dribbling the ball for 45 seconds when it's only 24 seconds in the shot clock. Then you shoot it, and then we miss it, and then touching the ball. That's not going to work.
No chance. See,
that's not going to work.
People don't talk enough about this. Like I agree with you on that. I wish LeBron kind of went about things the way Michael and Kobe did. Yeah. Even though I'm one of his biggest supporters, but I wish he was dog in that sense or whatever. But the thing we don't talk about.
What happened?
I don't know.
It's that internet. Mark, we didn't lost connect. Mark.
Now you get off.
But you had to get that again, boy. You didn't win.
I went out. Oh, my bad.
You
know LeBron.
and then we lost you, Mark. It was.
Yeah, I was looking. I was like, I can't tell they talk, so I'm gonna keep talking. But what I was saying, I was like, well, we don't talk about enough. It's like when we talk about the errors. I wish LeBron was more of like, you know, Jordan and Kobe as far as like, you know, getting on his teammates and stuff more than just Mario Chalmers or whatever, but getting on everybody like that. But the difference is, we look at Scottie Pippen's situation. He had that deal. He was upset. He was sitting out, and he just sat out, you know, and sat there. And then he came back to, you know, in enough time for them to, you know, make their run and win the finals. Mm-hmm. That happens in today's game. He's getting off that team. So LeBron can't really, you know, dog out guys the way Jordan did because the Kyrie situation happened. Kyrie had 2 more years under his contract. It still got out. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be like they got to be delicate. They got to be strategic in like how they do it. So that's why I kind of think LeBron he kind of like befriends them and pets them and say, hey, Kyrie, I'm gonna give you the ball. Just do your thing. You know, just, you know, he try to be nice about it. Because if he's mean, you know, then you see the Chris Paul situations and the Hardens and stuff and the Westbrooks. You know, you see those. But back then, it's like, hey, you got a problem with it, you can sit on the bench until you're ready to play.
Fact. So, DJ, since you didn't agree with me and Mark, the more, you know, there's more knowledge on the game of the basketball, tell us who you got as your number 2, though. Who's your number 2?
Oh, number 2 is easy.
Who? I knew it. I knew you.
Ooh, 2. Okay.
Come on, man. Okay. Number 2 is easy. I mean, the next face getting scoped is no other than Kobe B. Bryant, the late great. What do you mean? Like, come on now. I mean, you know, we could talk about the stats, things that he did, but a lot of that stuff we already know. He won rings. He got 5 of them things in his career. He got 1 MVP, but he was hosed out of a bunch of them. I don't even feel like talking about the one Steve Nash took from him twice. But that's a whole nother story. The man scored 81 points in the game. And remember, the Lakers was down 20 at one point in that game. He scored 81 points in the game. Yeah. The man has he has just as many 60-point games as Jordan and LeBron combined. Just as many. That's just a pure walking, unsolicited bucket, and he was a fierce competitor. And I feel like when Shaq left and he had to do his own thing, the Lakers wasn't doing enough at first to get him help. And then when they got him help, the man went to 3 straight finals, winning 2 out of 3, and his career ended kind of injury riddled. And I just feel like Kobe's the next face getting painted or sculpted, and that's how we start off our Mount Rushmore. We go Jordan, and we go Kobe. I don't even understand why we even having this debate that is not Jordan Kobe. But y'all carry on.
I know Jordan is my number 2. Of course, Jordan is number 2. The only reason I'm going to say is Kobe may or may not make my list. I'm going to be honest with you because no. Listen to me. It's no disrespect to that man's work and the way he played the game of basketball. But if it wasn't for him losing his life this year, a lot of people wasn't bigging up Kobe like they bigging it up now after he passed away, to be 100 with you. They had him in the top 10, the best players to play the game of basketball, but he wasn't in the top 5 until he passed away. And that's sad to say that people start to appreciate his game after we lost him. Because now everybody, Kobe's 3, Kobe's 2, Kobe. But when he was here, Kobe wasn't in no 3s, no 4s, no 5s. You wasn't hearing Kobe. It was like Kobe was a great player. He played the game. He was competitive.
Laker Nation.
You know what I'm saying? But the Laker Nation, right? And they say he's the closest thing to Mike, but he would never be Mike. That was always his knock. He would never be Michael Jordan. And no matter what he do, he would never eclipse Michael Jordan or whatever the case may be. And so I felt like a lot of people got him up higher in their list because he passed away. But I appreciate what Kobe did for the game of basketball. I don't have him as my 2. I have Mike as my 2, and I had that GOAT James as my number 1. You know what I'm saying? But let's hear what my man Mark got. Who you got as your number 2?
Well, I'm gonna go. We know my number 2 is Michael Jordan.
Okay.
Sure. But I'm gonna touch on what DJ said about Kobe, and it's hard. Like you said, it's hard because no disrespect to Kobe and the body of work he did. Like I was against Kobe majority of his career. He was hurting my feelings. He was hurting my feelings majority of my career, and then or his career. I'm talking about my career. But his I'm one of them guys that play with LeBron that nobody know about.
For sure.
But I know how great Kobe Bryant was, and I am one of those guys that I have him, right around that 10, that 9-10 area. But I understand with him passing, it goes back to like we talking basketball and then we talking legacy. Mm-hmm. Him passing and hearing the stories and everything about Kobe, it boosts his legacy up so much because just what he did for the game and how he gave back. Exactly. So he's a lot higher when it comes to legacies for me. Mm-hmm. But when it just comes for what he did on the court, he's not in my Mount Rushmore right here. So I just start with there. So right now, both of y'all, LeBron and MJ, nothing but number 23 so far.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, both of y'all drunk. I just feel like the reason why people don't give Kobe is because it's just the world we live in as far as people that watch basketball. Hey, I just point blank missed it. I just don't feel. I feel like when you look at it, the things he was able to do on the basketball court is just unconscious. If there are numbers that he put up that Jordan never touched, LeBron has never touched, Curry, KD's, all these great scores of the basketball, whatever, the Kareems, just ain't touched. You feel the only person that's kind of touched some of the things Kobe did was Wilt. And Wilt was playing against a bunch of people that's our boy bank height. So that's neither here or there, though.
I'm glad you brought him up.
You gonna come to my head? You gonna come to my head? You gonna disrespect? You gonna come on the short people? It's all good. It's all good.
But I feel like Kobe just does not get the respect that he deserves. But even before his passing, you feel me? I've been a Kobe guy since '96 when he came in the league and he in a preseason game and he dunks on Ben Wallace's chrome. You feel me? That's been my guy. And so, like, I'm gonna always be a little biased, but I'm gonna be biased to the point that his work ethic and what he did was real. You feel me? I feel like when the Lakers went 15-1 against the Sixers, Shaq averaged 36, but Kobe averaged 37-7 during that same playoff run. And Kobe closed all those games when the Lakers was going undefeated during that time. So it's just so many things that Kobe gets overshadowed for, mainly because of Shaq and Phil. But the body of work as a basketball player, the man was out of this world. So, I mean, y'all can leave him off y'all Mount Rushmore. Ain't nobody visiting y'all Mount Rushmore. Anyway.
I mean, like I said, man, it's no disrespect to Kobe. It's no disrespect to Kobe. I'm just saying that they didn't have Kobe as high until he passed away, man. You can buy Kobe shoes when he was here on this earth, but when he passed, his shoes started selling crazy. Everything sold out. And it's no disrespect to the body of work and what he represent in the game of basketball. And like my man Mark said, his legacy was brought up at a higher level when you heard the story. Just like Mike's legacy. It's even becoming more – he haven't played the game in about 20 years. Like, you see The Last Dance, you hear all these stories again. Oh, my God, Mike is just this and that. You get what I'm saying? And so it's not taken away from those players.
Right. And I'll throw some what you said, I might be voice of reason. I'll be some voice of reason right here. And some people go take it and hate it. So it is what it is. But when I look at Kobe Bryant, when I look at LeBron James, when I look at Michael Jordan as basketball players. Like we got a video game and we taking Michael Jordan from, you know, some would say his best days was 98, the 98 year, 97, 98 year or whatever. But prime Michael Jordan, I'll just say that. Prime Michael Jordan, we take him, bring him in today. We got prime Kobe Bryant, we bring him in today. We got LeBron prime. I think LeBron and Kobe are better than Michael Jordan.
Hold up.
Oh.
Because this is, and let me explain, because I posted this on somebody's post, and I said I'll explain on the podcast, and this is great time to do it. But when you look at Michael Jordan and what he did, which was dominant, he dominated. The thing, like when he played against the Bad Boy Pistons, the up and under, like Michael Jordan was probably one of the first people, you know, consistently doing up and unders. But it wasn't just because, like nowadays, players are doing it just because you can do it.
Right.
They're having wide open layups. Now we got jellies and all that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Jordan was doing it because he had to. Lambeer and them is knocking him out the air if he just goes straight up. I seen some highlights of Clyde Drexler getting punished because he's just going straight up. Jordan was avoiding people, so it wasn't even an up and under. He was just trying to get the shot off. When you look at his highlights, some of the things he's doing, he's just trying to get the ball in the hoop. Now, Kobe and LeBron had the opportunity to study that. They got the opportunity to say, all right, this is why Michael Jordan does it. Jordan was doing it trying to save his life. He was trying to protect himself. He wasn't trying to die.
Right.
But LeBron and Kobe were able to say, this is what works, you know. In players today, like the skill level that they're able to take from seeing Michael Jordan survive.
Exactly.
And even at just surviving, he's an all-time, he's, you know, arguably the best player ever still.
Yes.
You know, that's why I think Kobe, like, it's just like, if you go outside, all right, I got a story for myself. When I was a kid, all my friends was doing backflips and stuff and all that, and I never tried.
And I was just like, either. Don't feel bad.
So I was by myself. I was by myself in the front yard, like 10 years old. And I tried to do a backflip, and I did it. And I was like, oh, that wasn't that bad. So the second time I was more confident. And the second time didn't end well. I landed on my neck. I dang near died. I was outside on the front grass. Cars was riding by slow, looking at me. Roll call knocked the wind out my body. I'm thinking I'm dying. That was the last time I tried it. So I never perfected it. But Kobe and LeBron and guys now, they seen what Jordan did, and they were like, how can I perfect it? And then you start adding Euro steps. It's just they have more, you know, they have more tools on their tool belt than Michael Jordan. Not to say that Michael Jordan can't do what they do, but in the 90s, they just wasn't doing that. That's what I mean. That's what I mean.
Hey, I love that take because, you know, I'm a Kobe guy, you know, but I'm going to always give Jordan – I'm always give Jordan to the head, but I'm a Kobe guy. So, hey, honestly, I appreciate the take. Hey, I appreciate – so, hey, you feel me? Who's your three? And then we'll jump into my man Mark. Who's y'all three?
All right, man. My three is the number one scorer in the NBA, man. Kareem. He's my three, man. He did so much, even statistical, damn near every day, 6-time champion, 2-time final MVP, 6-time most valuable player, all-time scoring champ. And he did it scoring twos. The old man game. Back post, push shot, that up and under. Hey, let me get that layup right there. Not really no jump shot like that, but mostly in the post. To do that for consistent time in the NBA is not easy to do. And he played in different type of eras too.
Oh, man.
Well, and so the one thing about Bill Russell, he played in an era where there wasn't a lot of talent. Wasn't that many that had the skill caliber that he did. But Kareem, he was in a prime where there's a lot of people who were skilled at what he was doing, and he was dominating at what he was doing. And don't get me wrong, Magic did help elevate him because he put the ball where it needed to be and made it easier for him. But what he was doing before that, he was still getting buckets. And so that's why I got Kareem, man. I got to have a big man on my I can't even say the damn word. Mount Rushmore is Kareem, man. Kareem is my number 3.
I respect that. Hey. Yes, I respect Kareem. Go ahead, Mark. Enlighten us, man, with your number 3.
Like I said, man, I'm pleased to be here on you guys' podcast today, man. It's an honor, man. But like I said, once again, I realized why y'all wanted to do the podcast on Sunday, because my man he's a preacher over here. We're gonna change the name to the preacher, but I got Kareem again, man. Like he said, man, Kareem he's a walking winner. Yeah, he's everything. When you think of basketball, outside of shooting jump shots, he's everything else. He's blocking shots, he's getting steals, he can shoot free throws, unlike most of the other big men in the great conversations. 6, he got 6 rings, huh?
6 rings.
He got 6 of them things. 1 with Milwaukee, 5 with the Lakers.
6 of them. National championships in college, man. Like he does. I think he's the most disrespected legend ever. Like I get, even me, I'm a LeBron guy, and I say LeBron's the best, but I feel like it's completely unfair to say it's just Mike and LeBron.
Right.
So that's why at 3 is Kareem, because I think when we do the tier things, I think that's got to be the tier where it's Kareem, LeBron, and Jordan.
I respect that. Who you guys your 3?
Yeah, all right. Back to reality. Hey, yeah.
Let's go, DJ. Let's go.
Yeah. At my number 3, I got Magic Johnson. I got Magic. I just feel like the man. I don't think people really understand that in a 10-year span between 1979 and 1989, 1990, the Lakers appeared in all but 2 NBA finals. And that was Boston beating the Rockets in 2 of those. You feel me? And when you go to 8 of 10, that's just a lot to rev it back up. I mean, LeBron went to 8 straight. Jordan went to 6 straight.
Went to 9 straight, I believe. 9 straight.
8, man. 8.
Which means
it was 4. It was 4 with the Heat.
Because he's 3 and 6. He's 3 and 6.
Yeah, he went to 8 straight. He played in 9.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he went to 8 straight. Yeah. So, he went to 8 straight, and, Magic went to 8 out of 10 and won 5 of them things. And you got to think about the teams. That Celtic team was great. Them Sixer teams, especially that first, the first one he won, and then even the second one he won. Sixer teams were great. And that Piston team was great. And then for him to even rev it back up and get the Lakers back to a championship when they lost Kareem and they didn't have all the horses that they had, during the 80s run, and him to get that team back. And for him to save basketball along with Larry Bird in the 80s, I just feel like you got to put that face right there on that Mount Rushmore as number 3. You feel me? Some of his accolades: 5-time champ, 3-time Finals MVP, 2-time NBA MVP, 7-time All-NBA first team, 9-time All-Star. He's top 5 in assists. His career averages is 19-11 for his career. I just think he just did so much for the game, and he a Laker. So yeah, that's why I got him at number 3.
So going on number 3. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that pick at all. I see why you got mad. Magic was a Showtime. He helped keep the NBA at bay when the numbers and ratings was going down. Magic with the the no looks and doing all that kind of.
He got the old man voice with it too.
He kept the ratings high, and people loved to see Magic and Bird go at each other. Them two kept the NBA at bay, and then Mike took it to the next level, and then you got the Kobe's, LeBrons, and the KDs and the Kyries is taking it to another level. And even the Europeans like Luka and all those people, we ain't even get into those folks that came over and helped make the game even crazier. But I like that. Who you got as your number 4 though? I want to see your last place because this is important right here.
Yeah, because we got the same list thus far, man. And I think this is where we go part ways.
Okay.
I think we go part ways because I remember a comment you said earlier. But man, I may be wrong, man. Maybe you're just as genius as me. But for my 4th and final spot, I got no other than the great Wilt Chamberlain.
Hold up.
Ooh, 2 big men on that Mount Rushmore.
I got 2, man. And it was tough. It would have been 2 big men probably. No, I wouldn't. I was gonna say regardless, but it was Wilt, man. The reason I get Wilt, I understand the era of basketball he played in was probably, without disrespecting, but it was probably the worst era of basketball ever, probably. You had Wilt and Bill Russell, basically dominating the game. I say that because Wilt was the only one like really, really balling. Like Bill, he shot 44%. I don't understand that as a big man when you're shooting layups. So I don't get that. I get the 22 boards and stuff, but you the tallest man on the court shooting 44%.
That's crazy.
In the paint. But hey, whatever. No disrespect to him, even though that was probably a little disrespectful. So I apologize. But man, to go average 50, for a year, to 50 and 30, I think he did, or dang near that. I get it, but we've all hooped and we played with guys that's taller than us, and it's really like I think I could play with a guy 6'6" and stop him from getting 20 rebounds every game. I'm gonna cut the ball bounces all over the place. You know what I'm saying? 20-something for average 30 and 20 for a career, I think is amazing. In any era, even back then. So I have to give it to Wilt, man. He scored 100. That's another number.
Supposedly, okay, no footage. It happened.
I believe it.
I believe it too. 100 points. And again,
all twos.
Yeah, all twos. No threes. All twos.
Yeah.
Well, Lisa Leslie got 100 though in high school, so
Hold up.
Yeah, that's high school.
It's possible. That's a shorter time too. Shorter game.
Yeah. I feel like Lisa Leslie 100 a little bit more impressive than Wilt. So that's a whole other conversation.
That's crazy.
I'm gonna give it up to Lisa. Shout out to Lisa Leslie.
Staying there 7 foot 6 something, whatever. How tall Lisa Leslie is. That's playing women sports like that, bro. In that time, bro. It
don't matter. Lisa Leslie 100 is to me.
She did it in the WNBA. I'd have been like, that's crazy.
No.
But in high school, come on now. There's people who score 80.
Hey, listen. Man, I feel that Lisa's 100 is more impressive than Wilt.
Hold up.
I feel like she scored 100 with all that.
Like you're crazy right now. Who you got as your number 4? Because you got Mike, you got Kobe, you got Matt. Who you got?
Number 4 was rough.
Oh my gosh.
Number 4 was rough.
Do I need to go get a drink now or?
Nah.
Oh.
Number 4 came down to 2 people.
Okay.
And I was just trying to figure out how I wanted to do this, but I'm gonna look at it as like my number 4 will come down to when all is said and done. Because now, if I did it right now, it'd be a little different, kind of how I did my top 10. I kind of did it for right now, but I'm gonna do my Mount Rushmore as a completion.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to go Kareem because Kareem is in my top 5 of all time currently. But I'm gonna be fair, and I'm gonna put LeBron James as my number 4, my
Don't be fair. Don't be fair. Just be honest. If you don't want to put LeBron, you ain't got to put LeBron.
I'm gonna be fair. I feel like when it's all said and done, I hope that he can win another ring, especially as a Laker fan. It would help me out a lot. It'll help my argument out a lot. So I would need him to really bring in another ring. I feel like he's going to finish top 5 in scoring. He's going to finish top 5. I believe he's going to finish top 5 in assists. And he should be around top 10 in rebounding. I think his accolades may pick up as long as he can get another championship. So I believe when it's all said and done, LeBron James will be on my Mount Rushmore as number 4. But I'm going to put this caveat out there right now. The man don't win a ring, we unsculpt him and I'm putting her in there. Just let that know right now.
Take his face off.
Take his face off. Wow. Because I feel like y'all Mount Rushmore is somewhere in Wichita, Kansas. Which
My Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, I'm going to put my Mount Rushmore in New York and in L.A. So if he don't get it done, LeBron going to start off in my New York Mount Rushmore. If you don't get it done, then my LA one going to have something totally different.
I feel like your Mount Rushmore is predicated to L.A. and Chicago, per se. That's it. That's it, Chicago and LA.
Yeah, but New York is a bigger market, so we just go, you know.
You got like 3 Laker players on there, probably.
Yeah, I mean, because LeBron's a Laker. So, yeah, I mean, we LA, Chicago, and that's just kind of how we do it.
This pick was hard. And I say this because these 3 players, they have played the game extremely well. They've done amazing things in the game of basketball. So I'm going to give you my 3 that I was in debate with. It was Tim Duncan, Magic Johnson, and then the late, great Kobe Bryant. Those are my 3 that I was like, man, they were some amazing players. They did some amazing things. And I didn't know who I wanted to go with, to be honest with you. I really didn't know who I wanted to go with. But then I thought about it, and I thought about what Magic Johnson did for the game, what him and Larry Bird did for the game was amazing. It was amazing. And I couldn't take that away because without Magic and Bird, it probably wouldn't have been no Mike Jordan. And Mike Jordan probably would have came about, but the NBA probably could have tanked. The Rays probably would have tanked. So with them keeping the game at what it was and the numbers he put up, the 6'9" point forward, the first to ever play the game the way he played the game. I know he was slow, and I'm not slow, but like he didn't have necessarily the hoo-ha, but he made it work. It worked. So my number 4, man. Woo! I still didn't put him there though.
Hold up.
People gonna be mad at me right now.
I still didn't put him in.
Hey, he did everything to say. I feel like he had me sold, boy.
That was a good one, yeah. I was like, Magic.
I love Magic. Magic, if I had to put another spot on the Rushmore, Magic was on there.
That was good.
I'm going with
You said who?
Tim Duncan.
Hold
One
up.
of the great 5 forward to ever play the game of basketball. I feel like Tim Duncan don't get his respect, don't get his due because he's so quiet. He wasn't the flamboyant and always in the media, but he came and he got it done. He was the evolved version of Karl Malone because Karl Malone wasn't really a media dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but he was a mailman for a reason. And when you get the mailman, that means you on the job every single day, putting in work every single day. You know what I'm saying? May not be the greatest, but you still going to work and you perfect that craft. The hot, cold,
essential. Essential worker.
Essential worker. You gotta make sure the mail is delivered every single day. Tim Duncan was the all version of Karl Malone. He was the king of the backboard. I swear the bank was open because he always can hit it. He always had cash ready to go, ready to get deposit. And I don't want to disrespect Magic and Cole, but I can't disrespect what this man did. 5-time NBA champion, 3-time final MVP, 2-time most valuable player, 15 All-Star. I can keep going. 7-time defensive player of the year. Man, I can keep going. The man has put up the numbers, but he don't get the respect that he deserved. And I wanted to put Magic there, but I said I already got LeBron and Jordan, those are some wing players. I don't got a power forward. And I want mine to be a little bit balanced. I don't want it to be just, wings and centers. Power forwards deserve their due. And Tim Duncan is on my Mount Rushmore. My folks from San Antonio are going to be coming to my Mount Rushmore. Like, I love what he's talking about. I love what he's talking. I feel like I got all the eras in there. I got the 90s. I got the 80s. I got the 2000. I got the 2020s or whatever the case may be. I got all the skates. I got all of them. So that was my four. And it's not disrespect to Magic and Kobe, because if I had to put them in there, I will put them in there. But I don't want to be like where everybody else was. Because to be honest, Kobe did amazing things, but I'm telling you, and it's just being real, they didn't give that man his respect until he passed away. And I don't want to be on that bandwagon and start, Kobe's up there after he passed away. I want to be honest and I want to be real with my opinion. Because if I'm not, then I'm following the wave and following the current. So I love Tim Duncan to represent the power forwards on my Mount Rushmore. Those are my Mount Rushmores right there.
Yeah, Timmy D was nice. Timmy D was nice. I mean, he just could never go win back-to-back championships. Like
don't matter. It don't matter. You don't.
Or like he never won back-to-back like a Magic did. But that's neither.
I understand that. That's why, like I said, I would have put Magic there. I could have put Magic there, but it's no power forwards. If you ever look at the Mount Rushmore, they never put power forwards on the Mount Rushmore. They never do. They disrespect them.
Hey, man, because I feel like, like I said, Tim Duncan does not get the respect that he deserves.
No, he don't.
I can agree with that.
Because he's boring. That's it. He's boring. You was being nice about it all the whole time you talked about him, like why he's under the radar. He is boring.
Yeah.
Man, he didn't get an edge up until like his 16th year in his career, and at that time, that's when you let it go.
I think the only technical foul he got when he was on the bench. Like it was no like you saw passion, but it was no passion. But you knew he was passionate about the game because Mr. Fundamental or the Big Fundamental or whatever Shaq labeled him as, he did his job, but it was just not. It wasn't transcending. And when I look at Mount Rushmore's, I gotta have transcending box office guys on mine. And when you look at my four, to recap my four, Jordan, Kobe, Magic, LeBron, those are box office guys. Must-see guys, no matter what the situation is, when they was on the tube, you turned it on, you feel me, to watch the game. And so, again, I respect Tim Duncan, what he's done, but it was three. Let me see, Duncan he won 5, right?
Mm-hmm.
I watched probably 2 of those finals, and that was a Heat one because LeBron was there. I don't nobody give a damn about them beating the Knicks. Didn't nobody give a damn about them beating the Cavs, the Sixers, or the Nets.
Hey,
didn't nobody care about them finals, bro. That's listen, the San Antonio Spurs and Pistons went 7 games, and no one talks about that series.
That's crazy.
The soul brings up how great that is. Not one soul. Come on, Mark. You've had guys on. Has anybody ever talked about the Spurs and his Pistons 7-game series? Anybody?
Never. I just was talking to my brother the other day about that. I was like, yo, as great as Tim Duncan is, because like I said, I was prepping for y'all. I was like, as great as Tim Duncan is, I can't remember not one NBA Finals moment of Tim Duncan, really, or the San Antonio Spurs. and I watched the Miami ones, but it's just like, the highlights is watching LeBron lose more than watching them win.
Yes, the highlight of the Spurs is Fisher's .4, and they lost. And that's a highlight, and it was against them losing.
It's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying I'll be doing the game a disservice because it's nothing wrong with the flashy. It's nothing wrong with being athletic. Nothing wrong with those things. But if this man was the fundamental sound basketball player. He did it all the right way. Passing, defense, rebounding, scoring. I would be doing the game a disservice. It's nothing wrong with y'all not having him now. I'm just saying, regardless of scoring, there's people that's like teachers that's like that boring jobs every single day, or jobs that's gonna be tedious, that's gonna be treacherous.
I can't believe you with this route.
Every single day, there's somebody that gotta do it. There's somebody that gotta do it. There's people. Big respects to the people that's farming, that go out there and do the crops, do the weeds, do all that stuff. It's not the most exciting job. It's not the damn boring job.
Oh my God!
So I feel
Mark, get your boy, Mark.
in our economy right now.
Mark, you called him the preacher.
You know what I'm saying? So I just gotta say it. I gotta say it. There's people. That's what's wrong with the game today. We're not teaching the fundamentals. We trying to teach to be the LeBrons, to be the MJ, but some of those people can't even dribble with both hands. They can't make a layup with the left. They can't shoot with the left. They can't do. They're not or the ambidextrous. They can't do two things. They only get to one thing. So that is a fundamental sound basketball player, and that's why he's my Mount Rushmore. But
well.
It's time.
Amen.
You know what?
I preach for that.
Hey, man, you know what? I'm not even gonna hold you right there. That right there, but that was some of your best work. That was some of your best work right there. Hey, we've been doing the show for a little bit before. Hey, I'm about to damn near reconsider.
Hey, I'm just saying, we always forget about the fundamental sound of basketball. We always want to do the who can cross over, but can you dribble this goddamn ball? Can you dribble with both hands? You know what I'm saying? And it's sad because a lot of people are not taught the right way no more. But we get to the best part of our show.
Hey, I got it. So my man Mark.
Yes, yeah.
It's that time, man. Yeah. It's that time, man. We're gonna hit you with the hot seat.
Hot seat.
I got 3 burning questions for you. And
I was hot already.
Yeah. I got 3 burning questions for you. I got 2 basketball, and then I got 1 for the culture. You feel me?
For sure.
You ready, man? You got a minute 30. So here we go. Whose career would you have rather want to see finish healthy, Grant Hill or Penny Hardaway?
Ooh, man. That's a good one right there.
Yeah, we will come out the blocks.
I'm gonna go Penny just because Penny was one of my original favorite players ever. I was Magic first. He was the first thing I knew about basketball. Even though I didn't know much, I was so young. But it was Magic, Penny, T-Mac, then LeBron. So I would definitely go Penny Hardaway because he was one of those guys, like when we talk about transcendent players, even though Grant Hill was special.
Hey, that's why I asked.
He was special, man. But Penny would. I'm stay biased, man. Man, even the shoes, the Grant Hill shoes, the Penny shoes, man. I'm going Penny.
Okay, just make sure it's a hot seat. My next one. Out of all the Hall of Famers that did not win a ring, who would you want to give a ring to? He earns it though. He earns it though. Who would you want to give that ring, or who would you want to see get that ring?
And who?
Yeah. Oh, this is hot,
man. He earns it. God. Yeah. I'm gonna go just because I liked him. I liked him so much as a player. I got the chance to meet him. He was surprisingly like, I met LeBron. It was cool. Shook his hand. It was just like, nice to meet him. But this guy, I actually, turned into a fanboy, which I didn't even know I was that big of a fan of his until I met him, which is Sir Charles Barkley. And I would have really liked to see him get a ring simply because, like, he was a competitor. He was a competitor. He just didn't have everything physically that he needed to do. He's 6'6" and out of shape a lot. But, like, when he went up against Jordan in the finals or whatever, he went into it. I felt like he was one of the only players that went against Jordan. Him and Malone were the only players that went against Jordan and was like, I'm better than Jordan. Until, Jordan beat him, and that was that. But I would give one to Charles Barkley and get Shaq off his back a little bit on 10.
Yeah.
All right, man. Last one. This one's for the culture. This one is for the culture. If you had your choice, banana pudding or peach cobbler?
Ooh.
Make it hot.
Oh, yeah. This is the hardest one right here.
Ooh, make it. If you had right now, banana
Man.
pudding or peach cobbler, baby. You gotta make it hot.
No, I'm gonna give you some background on this. If you would have asked me about 5 years ago, it would have been a unanimous banana pudding. Simply because I didn't have I'm black. My mama cooked everything, the apple pie, sweet potato pie. She could cook peach cobbler, but she never did for whatever reason. So I didn't get peach cobbler until about 5 years ago.
Ooh.
But when I got it, when I got it, oh my god, and put ice cream on it.
Oh, vanilla? I feel like vanilla's the only one you
gotta be the vanilla.
Show you right.
I gotta roll with that peach, man. I gotta roll with that peach cobbler, man. Now I'm gonna have to go find me some today.
Oh yeah. I got some. I got that Patty LaBelle's in the fridge right now.
And
the
Patty LaBelle ain't bad. That's like man.
Fire. I got you, bro. Just one thing, for the culture.
But again, man, thanks for my man Mark. We appreciate you coming on the show, man. We definitely gonna have you on the show again in the future, man. But it's been a beautiful episode, man. Beautiful episode today, man. Great discussion. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Who is your Mount Rushmore? We would love to know in the comments below. Who is your top 4 greatest of all time to ever play the game of basketball? Put us in the comments below. And always remember to talk that talk. Well, you got something you want to say to the folks? You want to give them your social media plugs and all that great stuff?
Yeah, man. First, I want to thank you too, man. I appreciate y'all having me, man. I'm glad we connected, and I'm a fan of y'all's, man. I like what y'all doing. Keep up the great work. Keep doing your thing, and both of y'all. Anytime y'all need me advice or anything, whatever, to argue want me on the show, I hope y'all bring me back on.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. My handle, I don't know if it's gonna show up like how it is right now.
We'll have it on.
My handle is MH the Champ on Instagram, Twitter, even though I'm not tweeting as much as I should be, but on Twitter, and my podcast is A Minute Till 6.
Yes.
Got some cool episodes coming up. One Monday, I could tell y'all since I was all week I was holding it in, and I'm like, man, I hope this guy don't get on TV and start talking and say what I'm gonna ask him or whatever. But I got on Monday, I got coming up, and it'll be ready Monday morning too. We're doing it at 5:30 in the morning. They on the East Coast, so it'll be up about 9. But I got Jeff Van Gundy coming on the show.
Ooh.
Yeah, man. So
that's big.
Yeah, I'm juiced, man. So look out for that. But that's about it. I got that, and a website coming. But once again, thanks, man. I appreciate y'all for having me on.
Oh yeah, man. We definitely appreciate you, man. Big shout out to my guy Big Kev Williams for connecting us. Big Kev, man, for connecting us, man. He was my assistant basketball coach this year and my assistant football coach this year. He a teacher with me at Gaston. So he saw that I was in this realm, and he was like, man, I know somebody else in this realm. So I appreciate him for connecting me with you, man, and, starting a beautiful relationship. Make sure you give my guy Chris a shout out. We were supposed to have been doing Wildin' Out at St. Res Church before the whole coronavirus thing. Yeah, man. Yeah, my guy Chris is going to be red versus black, man, and Wildin' Out for Christ. Coronavirus kind of shut us down. So, big ups to everything that you doing, man, and your podcast and your guests and all that kind of stuff, man. We just trying to grind and get to that same level. So much respect, and we appreciate it.
Yes, sir, man. Y'all on the way. Quick story about Kev, man. Kev, you know, Kev was like 6'7", you know,
big dude,
300-something pound, big dude, big friendliest guy.
Oh, there you go again.
There you go again. Yeah. It did it again.
We lost you. We lost.
Yeah, we lost.
Sound going again.
Yeah, there it is.
I caught it that time. I was like, I see it. But anyway, he from Florida,
Right?
6'7", huge dude. We worked at a car wash place together, and like all the cars came to his knees. Like he had to bend all the way over to wash cars. It's funny watching him do it, but we built a good relationship. But he said everybody back home. I don't know if y'all remember Fresno Uncensored when it came out. He was like, man, everybody back home was like, hey, you go to Fresno, don't go to the West Side. And he was like, what's wrong with the West Side? He was like, they sent me Fresno Uncensored. And I lived on the West Side. He was like, so I was like, you ain't never been? He was like, I ain't going over there. He said, every time you go there, they say people get shot. And I was like, man, just come to my house. I have my mom cook and stuff. He was like, bro, I ain't going to your house. But, man, good dude, man.
And now he work on the West Side faithfully and don't want to leave.
That's what's up.
That's hilarious. So, yeah, man. Thank y'all for y'all time, man. I appreciate y'all.
Yeah.
Much love.
Y'all, make sure again, man, go check out that podcast. Make sure you check out this episode, which was a dope episode. And again, let us know in the comments below who's your Mount Rushmore. Always remember to talk that talk. We out of here, man.